One of the most common things I've heard out there over the years, and all the trades that I've ever worked over 30 years working on the field. One of the most common things I've ever heard is they don't pay me enough to do that, or I'm not paid enough to do that, or that's not my job. That's not my job title. I'm not going to do that. And that's been very common. I've heard it over the years, over and over, in every single trade that I've worked. And now I understand why people would say that. They want to make more money, and I get it. I understand. But the thing is, if you're the owner of the company, or the boss, or the foreman, or the supervisor, and there's a guy that's not doing more, but wants more money to do more, then you're thinking, no, because you're not proving that you can do more, so I can't get you a raise, the raise that you're asking for, because you're not proving to me that you can do more. Now, if you're that same guy, that supervisor, that owner, and you see this guy excelling and doing more than he's getting paid, you have no problem paying him more. He's already proved to you that he can do more. So that's one thing. That's what I want to start at. Is it's easier to advance in any trade if you're the guy that's buying the tools, putting in the time, putting in the effort, going the extra mile, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 to get things done. Maybe you're not getting paid as a journeyman, but you're already qualified and you're already proving that you can do this job, and you're out there doing it. But the other hand, if you're the guy that's saying, you know what, that's not in my pay rate, I'm not going to do that. You call the guy that does that because I'm not going to do it. Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're going to be stuck where you're at for many, many years, and you're going to find this new guy that comes in, he's willing to do that, and all of a sudden he's going to be your foreman, your supervisor, your boss, or whatever, or he's going to move on to a different company and be a boss, a foreman, and you're going to think, man, I saw him, he started, I taught him. Yeah, the thing is, you stayed in that mentality, and that's a really poor mentality, and I'll tell you guys why it's a really poor mentality. It's a really bad idea to think this way. Now, when you do extra for a company, no matter what, like buying tools, learning more, or excelling in what you're doing, and then saying, I can do that, it sounds at the beginning, if your mind if your mindset is how should I say it without offending anybody, if your mindset is poor, you're going to be thinking, I'm not going to do this for this company or that company or anybody because they're not paying me enough, so I'm not doing this for this company. The problem with that is that you're not necessarily doing it for a company. You're doing it for yourself. Like, I'll give you guys an example. I just started at this property, and I've never worked chillers. This property has a vendor that takes care of the chiller system here, and they're used to that. But my goal is to become really good at this chiller system. Even though I'm good with ACs, air conditioning, chiller systems are different, and I know it. I realize that I have a lot to learn. Now, they didn't hire me to take care of the chiller system because they have a vendor that does that. But I'm gonna be as good as I can possibly be with this chiller system. The reason is, it's not loyalty to the company or trying to prove to the company. The reason is that if I ever leave this company, or when I leave this company, I already have that experience. That experience makes me a more valuable employee wherever I go at, because now I'm going to have that experience on top of the experience I already have. I'll have more experience. So at the end of the day, this company may be benefiting for now, for me learning, but in the long run, it's me that's benefiting from learning more, from going the extra mile, from saying, you know what, let me try it. I'll do it. And they're not used to that. They're used to there's a vendor that takes care of it, but I want to be the one that takes care of it. Not to brown nose, not to make points with anybody. It's just for my own personal benefit. And if you can't see that, you're gonna stay stuck in the position you're at, and you're gonna watch guys, advance, and you're gonna be stuck with that same mentality. So that mentality will keep you stuck. To me, what loyalty means, and as a working person, is being loyal to my family and being loyal to my future, which means my loyalty is not to any company. My loyalty is to become a better worker and making more money every time I move. And in order to do that, I have to learn. I have to advance every time I go. I'm never going to say, well, pay me more and I'll learn how to fix that chiller. No, I'm going to learn how to fix that chiller. If I want to charge more later, and then I can say, you know what, I'm doing this and that, the other, and I need a raise, or I deserve a raise, or I know my value. But that's very different than saying, hey, pay me more and I'll learn how to do that. Teach me, pay me more, and I'll learn how to do that. Now, this video is not to criticize somebody that's got that mentality. It's not for that. It's more of a motivation. I'm trying to motivate people to change that mentality. If you're stuck in that mentality of, I get paid to do this and that's all I'm doing, that's fine. I worked with a maintenance tech years ago, and all he did was turns. And I went to do a turn. I wasn't doing turns at that property. I was just doing mainly air conditioners and specialty work orders. It was a big property, and he all he did was turn. So I had to do a turn one day because sometimes it's scheduling and all that. So I had to do a turn, and I take all these tools with me to do a turn. And he didn't carry very many tools. He just kept a little bucket with tools for doing turns. And he was pretty efficient in turns. I'm not gonna say he wasn't. So I take this bucket and he goes in there and he tells me, your problem is you're carrying way too many tools for to do a turn. And I told him, she said, this bucket, this is all I need, to work in this company. I've been here for years, and this is all I need. So for a minute, I was thinking, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm carrying too many tools for this turn. I'm just used to having all these tools around. So I still got the turn done the same time he would have done it, or he's doing him. He's probably still there. But, this is when I first started with that company. Now, months later, he told me one day, I've been at this company for so many years. And I think he told me like 12 or 13 years. And in total, I've done 10 hours of overtime. Over all these years, all I've done is 10 hours of overtime. In that property, I was doing about 20 hours of overtime a week. A week. And he was doing that. He did 10 hours over a long, long period of time. Now, the reason is because in his mind, he does turns. He's got his little bucket, and that's all he's doing. Now, he was upset that I was already making all these hours. Of course, it took all my tools. It took all the experience. It took me investing into knowing more. And this way, he was actually pretty upset that he told me, I've been here for years and years, and they don't give me any overtime. Well, how would they give him overtime if he's going to walk around with his little bucket doing turns? He's supposed to do his turns in 40 hours. Now I'm up on roofs, fixing air conditioners, underground leaks, plumbing, sheetrock, different textures, and stucco, and all this that I've learned over the years. Of course, I was getting the overtime because they were saving money on vendors with paying me overtime. So in the long run, I'm not with that company anymore. They did benefit at that point, but I'm no longer there. The only one that's really benefiting from all the experience is me, because anywhere I go, I take that experience with me. So like I said before, this is not a video to insult anybody or say that somebody's wrong or somebody's right. This is more a video to motivate you to change that mindset. Once you understand that the more you learn, the higher you can advance, the faster you can advance. And once you have this mentality of learning really fast and investing in tools and putting in some of your own time to learn more, then you realize that you can change trades easily. When I started this trade, I didn't know anything about maintenance, and I picked it up really fast because I was willing to invest. Now, if I went to being an electrician, I know I could do it really fast because with my work ethic, with the way I like to learn things, I would excel in that trade. Any trade I go to, because of my mindset, I already know I can make it. I can start making money right away. Anyway, that's my video. Once again, I don't want to offend anybody. This is more of a motivational video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.